I hope that you guys were taking notes, because that was a list of people that you need to be networking with. Now, the next person that I want to introduce is somebody that you definitely need to have on your contact list. He is an entrepreneur himself for many, many decades. He is a graduate of Cornell University, and he mentors and supports other entrepreneurs. Please welcome Jalal CHARAF.
Hello, crazy people. Good morning. Thank you, Jihad, for this introduction. And it's very difficult to come after those brilliant speakers. Talal, Aya, Chris, it's not easy. I'm supposed to make a speech to inspire you. I know it's going to be difficult because you're probably tired after some partying yesterday. But I will try my best to give you at least some insights. So it's an honor for me to be here today with all of you, brilliant young people gathering to discuss social action. And I'd like, of course, to thank OCP Group, UM6P, and World Merit, Jihad, Mohammed, Abdelhamid, and all the team to make this possible. Thank you again very much. So thinking about what to say to inspire you, I decided to share with you the very reasons why I myself decided to make social action part of my engagement in life and among my community and in the world. So if we're all here and if we talk about thinking different and changing things, as Munya said in the beginning, I think it's because overall we're not very happy of the current situation of the world. Different institutions and movements may call that differently, but it's all about change. But change to what? For the better, of course. To less poverty, to more education, to better lives, to more dignity, to more freedom, to more equality, to less racism, etc. All those goals can be found in various frameworks and declarations like the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals that you probably know. But when goals and objectives can be clear and agreed, there are dozens of ways and strategies to achieve them. It can be politics, it can be business and entrepreneurship, it can be charity, it can be positive dictatorship, and it can be social action. And you have obviously chosen social action. You feel concerned, you want to contribute, so you become engaged, and here you are. But because you are also impatient for success, you strive for the biggest impact possible, be it among your community, your country, your continent, or the world. Impact is what we all strive for, my friends. You want to impact the world, and you'd be happy to leave something for the next generations, for humanity. Impact and legacy. This is what we're all after. So when I realized that small-scale social action could be apparently insignificant impact, like, for example, changing the law versus working in a local association, I started challenging my assumption, which is, by the way, what you should be doing here. And I started asking questions. So you have to challenge your assumptions to do something, to take action in a way that makes sense for you. Having worked for the World Bank, I started analyzing the impact of such an institution, which was supposed to have some leverage on countries and governments, and started rethinking the whole model. Thanks to such an institution, a powerful and rich country, like the United States, could take the decision to help and subsidize a poorer country, which could help thousands of communities with a simple budget allocation, where some people are working in a neighborhood or village association to solve very basic problems like access to water, but with huge effort. In another different way, I came to realize that a guy in Texas without a clue about where a country is can have way more impact on that country than the people who are engaged there in social action by just voting for the next president of the US. And I was like, give me a break, this is ridiculous. So I was frustrated, and I wanted to scream to the political world and ask all leaders to take better decisions. But as you know, the world is imperfect, and this is what explains the reason why an organization like World Merit exists. Then I met a person who works at a very high level in Washington, D.C., and she told me her story. She originated from a poor village in an African country, and nothing could predict she would make it to get higher education, and even less, a job somewhere at that level. She then told me that there was a person engaged in social action in her village and who taught her that everything was possible. She was selected in a merit-based program and was given a chance to show what she was capable of. All I had was hope and hunger for success, she said. Today, she influences decisions that help to build schools and universities in her country. The impact she has on her country's education capabilities is higher than any single government could achieve alone. That was like a huge wake-up call for me. The person who helped her maybe did not know that he or she would impact their country this way. But they continued working and hoping. My dear friends, I can tell you for sure that there is something that I call the invisible hand of social action. You know the invisible hand of Adam Smith in economy? So there is an invisible hand in social action. Humanity is full of great people like you, but we have to be able to see them in the middle of a lot of chaos. And as I just outlined, you may make mistakes when trying to do what appears to be sound thinking, like trying to optimize impact, resulting in you turning your back to social action to try something theoretically more efficient like politics. So whatever actions you take, big or small, the sole fact that it is possible, not sure, just possible, that it makes a difference one day by inspiring a person or a child who may become an original at some point, it is really worth it. You may not be able to change the world yourself, but by taking social action, you may inspire somebody else to do it. You just have to keep faith and spread hope. You have to be crazy enough to believe it. So I'd like to finish this keynote speech by sharing one of my favorite quotes from Steve Jobs. Quote starts, "Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently." And I'm sure a lot of you recognize themselves in this description. They're not fond of rules. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them, but the only thing you cannot do is ignore them, because they do change things. They push the human race forward, and while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. Thank you, crazy people, and enjoy this World Merit Summit.